I want to go over the battle with Grendel's mother. Now, just remember that he's finished with the battle with Grendel, and a number of things went on in that battle. One of the things is he only fought Grendel with his hand grip. Another thing is that when he engaged in battle with Grendel, his thanes that were with him tried to attack Grendel and tried to support Beowulf. And their swords weren't any good because there was a spell on Grendel that the swords wouldn't work, but whatever. So his companions were with him, but it was of no good. And so now in this battle, a number of things change. And it's Grendel's mother who is out for vengeance. And in the medieval world, in the Old English world, that was perfectly acceptable, in fact, required behavior. That you had to get revenge if somebody in your family was killed. So she's behaving in a way that is perfectly consistent with the Old English values. But let me shrink up and walk you through this section of it. Let's get away from that. On page 31, okay? So right over here at the bottom, it says, "And his mother now, gloomy and grim, would go that quest of sorrow, the death of her son avenge." So she's out for vengeance on her son. Most folks could understand that. Now, mind you, in today's terms, we might look at it and go, okay, yeah, but Grendel was killing a lot of thanes, and that's not considered to be too cool. And that's okay. But now the thing is, even still, his mother would be expected to get revenge. So his mother is behaving consistent with the warrior code of ethics. Okay, let's go on here. And just a little bit further on in 32. This is her attack. And again, keep in mind the way Grendel attacked, which was entirely different. He smashed the door in, grabbed the thanes, gobbled them up, trashed them, whatever. Haste was hers. She would hie afar and save her life when the liegemen saw her. So she's running right when she's seen. Yet a single Etheling up she sees, so she grabs one of them. Fast and firm, as she fled to the moor, he was Hrothgar. He was for Hrothgar of heroes the dearest, of trusty vassal betwixt the seas, whom she killed on his couch, a clansman famous in battle brave. And so she gets, not so much by plan, but just by chance, the most valued warrior of Hrothgar. And so she ends up hurting Hrothgar in a way that reflects the way she's been hurt. And so this was somebody Hrothgar valued dearly. Now, mind you, of course, she valued her own son. In a lot of ways, the mother is getting revenge on Hrothgar for taking her son away. Okay? And let's jump down a little bit. That's Escher, is the name of the thane she killed. Now another comes, keen and cruel, her kin to avenge. This is, I believe this is Hrothgar speaking of it. Far flung in feud of blood, so that many a thane shall think, who ever sorrows in soul, for that sharer of rings. This is hardest of hearth bales. And so there's a recognition that this is a revenge killing. And Beowulf says, and keep in mind he's supposed to be something of a Christian hero when he says this, "Sorrow not, sage, it beseems us better, friend to avenge than fruitlessly mourn them. Each of us all must his end abide, in the ways of the world, so win who may glory ere death. When his days are told, that is the warrior worthiest doom. Beowulf sets out very clearly the warrior ethic that don't get sad, get even. And what you need to do is achieve great goals before you die. Okay? So Beowulf sets out very clearly a warrior ethic, and he is going to get that revenge for Hrothgar. Okay? And let's go down a little bit further. It says, the waves below were dyed in blood. This is when the Danes went out hunting as a group to go find out where Esher was. The Danish men had sorrow of soul, and Skildings all for many a hero. 'Twas hard to bear. Ill for the earls when Esher's head they found by the flood in the foreland there. And so they go to the fens, or the water, kind of swampy stuff, and they find Esher's head, and the blood is going up. So they know Esher's definitely gone. Okay. He only made a cameo there. But this is Hrunting. This is the sword Beowulf's going to take with him. Hrunting they named the hilted sword, of old-time heirlooms, easily first. Iron was its edge, all etched with poison, with battle blood hardened, nor blenched it at fight, in hero's hand who held it ever, on path of peril, prepared to go to folkstead of foes. This is what Beowulf brings with him. He does not swear, I'm going to just grab her and, and when Grendel dies, Grendel tears his own arm off. It's admirable in a way that Beowulf just stands there and holds him. But for this battle, very important, he takes Hrunting with him. And Hrunting is one heck of an awesome sword. This thing's dipped in poison. It's never lost. It's quite the sword. Oh boy, it's not going to quite work out like that. Now let's go up. Soon found the fiend. And this is soon Mom found who the flood domain sword-hungry held these hundred winters. Greedy and grim that some guessed from above. This is Mom realizing somebody's in my yard, okay? She's realizing Beowulf's here. Somebody's here. She grasps out for him, and grisly claws in the warrior seized, yet scathes she not his bodily hail. The breastplate hindered as she strove to shatter the sark of war, the linked harness in loathsome hand. So keep in mind, with the battle that he just engaged in with Grendel, he didn't wear armor. He took it off beforehand. Right now, he wore armor down there, and he brought a sword. And he would already be dead if it were not for the armor. And he's fighting somebody who is a fraction of the size of Grendel. And he's going on her domain, to her house, after she has done a revenge killing. Okay, so a very, very different battle. Let's carry on. Then the warrior was ware of that wolf of the deep, mere wife monstrous. From mighty stroke he swung his blade, and now Hrunting is going to do the deed. He's going to chop up Grendel's mother in little pieces. This is a sword that's never been defeated, and it's in the hand of Beowulf. Get ready. Oh, this is going to be something. Then sang on her head that seemly blade, its war song wild. But the warrior found the light of battle was loath to bite, to harm the heart. Its edge, hard edge, failed. The noble at need, yet had known of old, strife hand to hand, and at helmets cloven, doomed men's fighting gear. First time this, for the gleaming blade, that its glory fell. It hit her right in the head. Beowulf nailed her in the head, and it failed. Okay? And so this is a dramatically different battle. Beowulf, his goose is looking very cooked like right now. Seized then by the shoulder, shrank not from combat. The Geatish war prince, Grendel's mother, By the way, this is where I became a real fan of Grendel's mother. Okay, back to the game. Flung then the fierce one, filled with wrath, his deadly foe, that she fell to ground. Swift on her part, she paid him back with grisly grasp, and gripped with him, and grappled with him. Spent with struggles, stumbled the warrior, fiercest of fighting men, fell down. She just knocked his butt on the ground. So, and after he hit her in the head with a sword. So she's quite okay. I hope this is clear that this is a radically different battle in all the ways that the battle with Grendel was impressive. All the same ways, this one shows the mother's ferocity. It's not the size of the warrior, it's the ferocity. Here we go. Life would have ended for Ecgtheow's son under wide earth, for that Earl of Geats had his armor of war not aided him. Battle net hard, and holy God wielded the victory wise as maker. And so the narrator here is making it very clear he would have been dead without his armor. And God here decides it in Beowulf's favor before it's even over. Mid the battle gear saw the blade triumph, old sword of Eotim's, with edge of proof. Warrior's heirloom, weapon unmatched, save only 'twas more than other men to bandy a battle could bear at all. As the giants had wrought it, ready and keen, seized then its chain hilt, the Scyldings' chieftain. Beowulf grabs it. This is a sword sitting in the mother's den. Bold in battle grim, it brandished a sword, reckless of life, and so wrathlessly smote it, gripped her neck, and grasped her hard, her bone rings breaking. The blade pierced through that far-fetched flesh. To the floor she shrank. And so Beowulf here kills the mother with a sword she had and chops it. So this is a radically different battle than the one with Grendel. Beowulf's gone into her region to get revenge for Ethling, or whatever his name is. Gone there, and he was getting beaten if it wasn't for him pulling out a sword. Okay. The body sprang far, and when after dark it endured the blow, sword stroke savage, that severed its head. What he just did was just to go further into the mother's lair and chop off the head of Grendel. Okay, so that's the battle. I'm going to leave it there. You now have a good concept of it. Go through and be aware how the battle with Grendel unfolded. In many ways, it's radically different. Even though the results were the same,